Good morning, it's April 7th, and I'm coming to you with your response to the bell ringer question from yesterday dealing with crude birth rates, crude death rates, and rates of natural increase. So the first portion of the question was, what do you get if you calculate the difference between CBR, crude birth rate, and CDR, crude death rate? And that's you get RNI, the rate of natural increase. And remember, rate of natural increase is always given as a percentage. All right, so then the second portion of the question asks you to talk about some of the positives and negatives of having a high rate of natural increase. It's the type of question you might see on the AP exam where you're asked to look at something from both sides. Most of the time, we approach rate of natural increase as you want to try to get that down as quickly as possible because it's what will help you move through the demographic transition model, getting that RNI down. Let's talk about some of the positives first of a high RNI, because rate of natural increase is high in stage 2 of demographic transition and in the early portion of stage 3. So here are some of the positives. You get, with a higher rate of natural increase, you have an increasing population. This could do things for you like more customers, more workers. More workers could equal an increased labor force, decreasing wages that are being paid, which is good for economic growth. It's good to have cheap employees. That's the way you look at it from an economic growth perspective. Think like an employer, not an employee. You have more taxpayers. You have a larger population, which equals more potential soldiers. And you could also look at a high RNI if you are trying to progress through demographic transition. The higher your rate of natural increase, the more rapidly you're moving through stage 2 into stage 3. Because if you look at what happens with RNI as it booms, that's when you're ending stage 2. Now the key is, of course, to get to that low RNI phase. What are the negatives? You got it with a high RNI. You're going to have a growing population, which means you have a need for more jobs. You have a need for more housing. You're going to consume more natural resources. Okay? You're going to put more stresses on the environment. Okay? Those are your most likely issues. You're also going to have things like running out of space. More people are more problems, more difficult to govern. All right, low RNI. So about the positives of that. As your rate of natural increase goes down, we do the opposite. You are now consuming fewer resources. Or at least your resource, that's not correct. I should say your resource use begins to slow. Okay? Low RNI is not negative population growth. It just means that everything is slowing down, that you've gone from being a rapid growth country to one that is a slower growth country. Okay? So you're going to need less growth in things like housing, schools, anything that would affect the young. And you're going to be moving through stage 3, headed towards stage 4 of demographic transition, which we see as progress as far as your country managing its population. The negatives, as your population growth starts to slow, it becomes difficult to do things like add jobs, because if you add jobs, which is one of the ways we indicate economic growth, and you don't have people to take those jobs, you got a little bit of a problem. So, you won't always have every year more need for more housing, more need for more jobs. You will also potentially start to see a decrease in innovation as your population, the number of workers, the number of innovators, begins to decline. And you can start to see things like grain beginning to occur. Now, it's not going to be like a true grain country like the United States or Canada, but you are going to start to see the average age rise, because if your RNI goes down, the number of young people you have in your population is smaller each year than what you had before. So there you go. That's your bell ringer answer from yesterday. I'll be posting your second bell ringer today. Please note that this morning, bright and early, the AP classroom questions become available. I really would encourage you to do the PDF review packet first, do the bell ringer this morning first. But if you're somebody who hasn't been doing the AP classroom questions, you need to make sure you know how to log on and get those done. We are getting ready for the AP exam, and we're closing in on just a little bit over a month before that test. Have a good day. Stay safe.